All right, so we're going to start off here with the warm-up series. We're going to start with some back rolls. You're going to take your mat. I'm going to tuck our knees into our chest and just hold on to our knees and get into a back roll. Okay, this is good for lengthening out the back, lengthening out the spine. And then we can start coming into a hamstring stretch, straightening out the legs. Two-footed, two-hand taps. Then we can get into the one-footed. Alternating, creating these different shapes with the legs as we roll and move. So again, the whole goal here is mobility through movement. Now we can get into butterflies from back rolls. And we can get into butterfly rockers. We can start to open up the hips now and come into V's. Back roll to V's. We can take it over to the left side. Take it over to the right side. And back. Okay, so now we can get into our back rolls to 90-90 series here. So again, we're going to go into our back roll and then up into our 90-90 position. Okay, we're going to do a couple more. We're just going to keep going to the different sides. When you get into 90-90s, you want to create this box position right here, making sure that your legs are in 90-degree angles from hip to knee to ankle. Okay, so as we come up now we're going to externally rotate and open up. It's key to keep this knee down at the ground and try and get to a point where this foot, the palm of the foot can get down to the ground, just externally rotating. And we switch to the other side. Open up a couple times. And now we can get into side to sides. Okay, to start with, we can put our hands behind our back here and just keep rotating side to side. And then we want to get to a point where we can do it with no hands, keeping good posture. When you're doing this as part of warm-up, you want to do this fast. When you're doing this as part of cool-down, you want to take it a little slower. So now we're going to get into our 90-90 airplanes. We're going to reach over. Okay, another version here is we can put our hands in to the middle here and we can lean over. This helps us get a little bit more range, but ultimately we want to get to this point where we can get good posture and get that lean over. Okay, again, go within your range of what you can do, but knowing what the goal is ultimately, and then we know we're getting stronger in our hips and our glutes, and we're getting more mobile at the same time. Okay. Now we're going to go 90-90, rotate, and reach. So as you can see here, I'm going to creep my fingertips out and get my chest and my forehead down to the ground as best as I can. I creep my hands back in, rotate to the other side, rotate, and reach. Okay, now we can start to speed it up. Getting those quick rotations in as we loosen up the hips, gets into the lower back. Glutes are stretching out a little bit. And good. Okay. Now we've loosened up the hips, we can start getting into the lower back. So we're going to go to our windshield wipers. So knees up in 90-degree position, arms up in the air here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just put our hands down to the sides. And we're going to windshield wipers, trying to keep our head, shoulders down on the ground. Control with our core, side to sides. Good. Okay, now we're going to go into our cross body stretch. So with the cross body, we're going to pull our knee down to the ground. And then we're going to open it up and try and get the knee down to the ground this way. Cross body and open up. Cross body and open up. One more. And then as we rotate now, we're going to go as if we've got one of those physio's balls between our legs, open up and transition to the other side. Try and keep your head down on the mat too, so not too much tension in the neck. And now we're going to go side to sides with the hip rotations to cross body. And again, the whole goal here is mobility through movement, creating these positions and shapes. Good. Okay. Awesome. The next one we got is we're going to go into a prone series here. So we're going to get started in our push-up position. And from our push-up position, we're going to go from Spider-Mans to pigeons. So we're going to get our push-up position here. We're going to get that foot up, left foot up by the left hand. Drop this right back, right hip down. Feel that stretch. Bring it round to the other side. From here, I like to stay in this push-up position here, go into pigeon, with the ultimate goal of being able to get into here. Now, if you can only get to there, but you feel a nice stretch in the glutes, gets down into the IT band, then that's fine. But ultimately, we want to start creeping that foot up to feel that good pigeon stretch there. Okay, other side. Okay, and then we speed it up again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can even get into jumps with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we're going to get into the series now where we're going to go from this lower back stretch, child's pose. Going to reach out. Going to come forward into cobra. And then we're going to inchworm up and feel the back of the calves, Achilles. Okay, we're going to creep out, drop down to cobra, and get into child's pose. So now we're going to speed it up. Do it one more time. Good. Okay. And then the last one we got here as part of the warm-up is we're going to go from sumo to frog position, and then we get into some half kneeling adductor with some rotations. Okay, so now we start getting into those adductors as we start to prepare to get into our warm-up, movement warm-up. So we're going to start into sumo here. So sumo position. Now when I'm in this position, I'm trying to keep a great posture. I'm trying to get my hands on my feet just so I can stretch out a little bit, and my elbows are pushing on the insides of my knees, pushing them out, and I feel a good stretch here. Now I'm going to drop down into frog. Now with frog, you're trying to connect your feet and keep them grounded. Get your knees as wide as possible, and you'll see that I'm almost in this plank position here. Okay, but I'm not sat back here because I'm not really feeling much there, so I've got to get my hips in front and feel that stretch. And from here, I'm going to pull back into the half kneeling adductor stretch, where I'm going to come forward and then sink back into my heels. I switch to the other side. And then we start again. Sumo, drop to frog, pull back to half kneeling, adductor stretch. Now I'm going to go, the back of my hand is going to go down to the ground. I'm going to reach through and drop down. It's called thread the needle. And then open up, drop down, get the back of the arm, get this stretched out, back of the shoulders, and open up. And then I'm going to go elbow to elbow with my hand behind my head. Open, open. I'll switch to the other side. Drop, open, drop, open, elbow to elbow, and done. Okay, so that's our floor warm-up series, covering everything right there that you're going to need for a good warm-up before we get into movement on the court here.